My wife has been peeking at me from around corners and behind furniture. It's gone from weird to terrifying. Part 2. Eventually, I crept back upstairs. When I entered our bedroom, she was lying on her side, asleep, or pretending. I stood there for what felt like forever, watching her breathe. I expected her to leap out at me the moment I climbed into bed, but she didn't move. Her breathing was calm and deep. By morning, I started to doubt whether it had happened at all. When she came downstairs for her morning coffee, I decided to ask about it lightheartedly, so I didn't come off as accusing. "What was that last night?" I asked casually, handing her a mug. She looked puzzled, shaking her head. "What do you mean?" "You were peeking at me," I said, pointing to the exact spot by the island. Her gaze followed my finger. And then she burst out laughing. She laughed until I joined her, despite the knot in my stomach. "You creep me out sometimes, you know that?" I said. She hugged me and whispered, "You creep me out all the time." So I guess we're even. We said our goodbyes and went off to work. But I couldn't shake the image of her peeking at me from the floor. The wide eyes, that grin. I kept telling myself she was just trying to bond over my love of horror. That she was stepping out of her comfort zone to make me laugh. I tried to see it that way, but something didn't sit right. Over the following days, it kept happening. I'd find her peeking at me from behind the couch, behind curtains, once even from inside her grandmother's old trunk at the foot of our bed. The only reason I spotted her was because the ancient hinges creaked. She had the lid barely cracked, just enough for half of her face to peek through. And she was smiling like a kid on Christmas. It creeped me the hell out. I didn't yell, didn't scold her. I asked her why she was doing it, but she just slowly closed the lid again without a word. 2 weeks passed with nothing. I began to think the game was over. Then one evening as we watched Netflix, I joked that she must be retired from her spy work. She smiled faintly and said, "Maybe I just got better at it." I laughed but didn't know if she was joking. The next few days were torture. I became paranoid. Always checking behind doors, around corners. I was on edge anytime she wasn't in plain sight. Eventually, things settled again. I let myself relax, until a few nights ago. She had gone to a friend's place and I stayed home playing games. Around 9 p.m., I jumped into the shower. As I rinsed the shampoo from my hair, I felt that same old weight on my shoulders, that feeling of being watched. I opened my eyes and there she was, peeking through the curtain. Her whole head inside the shower, her soaked hair hanging like vines, her eyes bloodshot and stretched wide. Her smile was warped and dripping with black makeup. She looked wild. I screamed. She didn't move. After what felt like an eternity, she slowly drew her head back out. I watched her silhouette shift behind the curtain. Then the bathroom door slammed so hard the mirror shook.